The United Kingdom has added carer under the shortage occupations list. This simply means you can of course migrate to the United Kingdom as a carer, or let me say as a nursing assistant. And now, mind you, depending on your visa type, you can go along with your family. So please stay tuned for all the details in this video.
Nurse Queen.
Hello my kings and queens out there, it's your girl again, Nurse Queen, and I'm so humbled to have you all back on my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. To my subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Yes, you are the real G's. And please, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, please go straight away and hit the button below. It is very important because you will get all the latest updates from me, and these informations, believe you me, they are very rich. Of course, these are things that are going to help you, or maybe help your family members, or maybe help your friends. And of course, I do share my videos with links, with websites, with supportive information that you can use as a backing in case you're doing any search. And of course, I do my best to communicate with everyone through the comment section below. So if you have any question, or maybe you have any doubts, I will do my best to reply you. I will do my best to guide you. Though I have bulk of messages every day, I do my best to reach out to everyone. So please do not feel left out. This particular video which I'm shooting today, I will provide several links, several websites, several informations, and these of course you will use as a guide to apply as a carer or as a nursing assistant. Today we'll be talking about how you can migrate to the United Kingdom as a carer, or let me say as a nursing assistant, of course with full sponsorship. And I'm also going to be providing the requirements and also free websites, or let me say websites where you can pay maybe little or no money to get training in order to become a carer or in order to become a nursing assistant. Let me start with the requirements. If you want to travel abroad, it is very necessary, of course, that one everyone knows. First, you're supposed to have your international passport. If you intend to migrate or to locate to the United Kingdom as a carer or as a nursing assistant, you are supposed to have a certificate or a license. Some companies don't mind if you have experience or not. They don't really mind. The third requirement will be for you to have sufficient English language background. I'm not going to deceive you on this one. You need a very good background of the English language, and that can be proven if you take the IELTS test. I think I have talked about this IELTS in one of my videos. The reason is simply because you are traveling to an English-speaking country. They will need you to prove that you can, of course, speak the language in order to facilitate communication with your patients, your colleagues. You need this background. If you don't know how to go about this IELTS test, you can of course drop your comment in the comment section below, and I'm going to assist you on how you can prepare for this exam, materials you need, and the exam structure. The fourth requirement will be for you to get a curriculum vitae. I'm talking about a CV, and this CV should be in the European standards. If you also need help on how to go about this CV, also drop it in the comment section below. I didn't want to make this video so lengthy. I wanted to just go straight to the point about carer and not to jump here and there with everything. After getting your CV, you also need a motivation letter. This motivation letter should be outstanding. It should really speak itself on your behalf. Just picture yourself presenting yourself through writing without someone interviewing you, without someone actually communicating with you, without someone even knowing you, without someone even having contact or let me say any form of communication with you. Your motivation letter should of course speak for you. I have samples of perfect motivation letters. If you want or you need help, I can make another video for this particular topic. The next requirement, I don't even know if this is the fifth requirement because I lost count. That will be vaccination card. Now, there are several important vaccinations which you are supposed to have. There are some basic vaccinations that you need, And these vaccines were administered to you when you were born. We call them the basic vaccines. And additionally, you also need vaccines, which I will recommend you adding into your vaccination card, and that will be the hepatitis vaccine, the COVID vaccine, any other vaccine that you see it is necessary. And of course, there are other vaccines which are available on every country's website, because each country has its required or its compulsory vaccine which you are supposed to have in order to migrate out of the country and in order to enter the United Kingdom. So please do well to check this out. So I have decided to list out the full requirements and the steps you have to follow. Your first requirement should be, of course, an international passport. For anyone planning to travel abroad, you are supposed to be in possession of an international passport. And this international passport is where your visa will be attached. The next requirement should be, of course, your birth certificate. Your birth certificate stands as the first identification document, because when you were born or when everyone is born, they are being issued a birth certificate. Now, the next requirement, which is obviously not a compulsory requirement, is a driver's license. Not every company will require a driver license, but some require a driver license. Reason being, you will need to transport yourself from one patient's home to the next patient's home. And upon arrival in the United Kingdom, you won't be able to get a driver's license from day one. But with your foreign driver's license, you can drive for up to 6 months while trying to see how you can convert your license in order to obtain the UK driver's license. Now, the next requirement you need is your school certificate or your school license. These can be obtained from any legal training you have acquired in your country as a carer or as a nursing assistant. Now, the next requirement which you are supposed to be in possession of is an IELTS test. This is a proof that you have sufficient knowledge of the English language. This is simply because you intend to migrate to an English-speaking country, and you will need English language as a means of communication with your patient, with your colleagues, and of course with your employer. So please do well to get this IELTS, and the minimum score should be at least a score of 6. Another important requirement is an online care certificate, or you can as well choose to do a volunteer in any hospital in order to obtain a care experience certificate. In this same video, I'm going to provide 5 different websites where you can obtain an online care certificate after you have gone through their learning process. The next, of course, which is a requirement and which is also very important, and this requirement actually speak on your behalf. It is like you expressing yourself to them in your absence through writing, and that is your CV and your cover letter or your motivation letter. These have to be very, very much outstanding, because this is what is going to be like the first impression the employer will see about you. Now, let's move over to the various steps that you need to take into consideration after you have had all these requirements. I don't know if there are more requirements, but these are the major requirements which every employer will ask you of. Now, let's go to the steps you have to follow. The first step is the job search. With the job search, I know this procedure is somehow so difficult. The reason is simply because there are thousands and thousands of applications coming in every day. So please, as others are not giving up on their search, on their applications, you too shouldn't give up. And what I advise here is that apply to as many companies as possible. Just keep applying. After being granted employment by any employer, the next arrangement will be for a job interview. This job interview can either be carried out through Zoom or Skype or any other platform which the employer will recommend, and which is of course convenient for you both. After the job interview and there is a mutual understanding and a mutual agreement, there will be the signing of the contract. Now, mind you, when signing any contract, anything abroad in general, when signing any contract, please read the contract carefully. It shouldn't be something that will be like a death sentence to you. Take note of the working hours, the salary scheme, and all the conditions. It shouldn't be a company that will tie you down to them, and if you have to leave them, you have to pay a certain amount of money. I know a lot of people are so desperate to travel abroad, but please do not endanger yourself or put yourself at a high risk or in a form of being used because you really want to travel abroad. So read out the contract carefully before you sign the contract. After the contract has been signed, the employer will now want to do an employment check. And this employment check entails a criminal record background check, references from any other place you have ever worked, a medical report, for example, the tuberculosis test certificates, basic vaccines, and check for any other documents which will be required. At this stage, they will contact you to inform you of any missing document. After that's said and done, you will now get your sponsorship, which will be your certificate of sponsorship. We call it a COS. And also, this is what you will need to go in for the next stage, which is the visa stage. For every certificate of sponsorship, there is a box that the employer needs to tick to certify maintenance for migrants and also for your dependents if applicable. Now, mind you, if the employer tick this box, then you don't need to prove anything. But if at all the employer doesn't tick this box, then of course you will need to provide a bank statement. And this bank statement should be an amount of at least £1,300 in order to support yourself at the early stage of entry before your salary. And this money must have been in your account for the past 28 to 31 days. So please, I'm going to drop an extra link in the description box below for you to read more on this. The next stage is going to be the visa application fee stage. So some employers do cover this cost, and some of them will ask you to pay them back after you have arrived the United Kingdom and you have worked. Now, at this stage, you can now quit your current job in your home country. But before all this, do not risk quitting your job in your home country until you have gotten to this stage. Now, the next stage will be your flight and arrival. Some companies as well will cover this stage, and then you can return the money once you arrive and once you have worked. Once you arrive the United Kingdom, please do not get so excited and forget the necessary things that you need to do. You have to report to your local council, you have to contact your employer, and you also have to get yourself a general practitioner. And also very important, you need to get yourself an apartment where you have to live and get yourself settled so that you can start work immediately. Let me give you some websites where you can train online as a carer, of course with a certificate. And these websites, there are some that you have to pay little or no money. These websites are: 1, Open Study College. 2, Allison. I believe Allison is very common and many people know about Allison. Allison is a website where you can get a lot of training. Apart from getting online training as a carer, you can of course get other trainings, like for example, software programming and stuff like that. You can learn all of these under Allison. The third will be Future Learn. The fourth will be UK Learn. And the last which I have on my list will be Learning Curve Group. Do well to check out these links in the description box below. My next video will be the 12 top companies that sponsor the UK carer visa. And of course, some of these companies will provide you with a certificate of sponsorship, which of course you can use at your embassy to get a type 2 visa. And with a type 2 visa, of course, you can migrate, you can relocate with your family. We have at this point come to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do well to follow me on my other social media handles. Check the direct link to my pages in the description box below. You can of course as well check my channel description, and it will take you directly to my other social media handles. I'm talking about my Instagram page, and I'm talking about my TikTok page, and I'm talking about my Facebook page. I'm trying my best to squeeze out time so that I can make a live video. Please do well to follow me on those handles, because people have so many questions which I haven't yet answered, and I think if I make a live video, I'm going to answer those questions so that people will not come up with the same questions which I have answered. Because sometimes I do answer some questions in the comment section, but not everybody have that time or that patience to read all the comments, and some people still ask me the same questions. So I believe maybe with a live video you will get the right answer to all the asked questions. I love you all so much. I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye.